My wife mocked my job and belittled me that I can't afford to give her an expensive lifestyle. Now she's living alone with her delusion. I thought my wife Natalie was working remote customer service for an insurance company, but she was actually running romance scams on 12 different men while sitting in our bedroom. I found out when I came home early with food poisoning and heard her on a call in what sounded like a British accent saying, "Darling, I can't wait to start our life together in London once my visa comes through." We lived in Ohio, and Natalie was from Ohio and had never mentioned London or England or having an accent. I stood outside our bedroom door listening, and she kept going on about how her ex-husband was abusive and she needed just $5,000 more for the lawyer fees to finalize her divorce so they could be together. We'd been married for 3 years. After 20 minutes, she hung up and immediately called someone else, but this time with a southern accent saying, "Sugar, I'm so lonely here in Texas since my husband died in that oil rig explosion." Same voice asking for money for her kid's cancer treatment. Kid we didn't have. I pushed open the door and she spun around in her chair looking at me with the phone still in her hand, and the southern accent died mid-sentence. "Hey baby, you're home early," she said in her normal voice, like I hadn't just heard her pretending to be a widow. I asked who she was talking to, and she said it was just a work call for claims processing. "Natalie, I heard you. I heard the British accent and the southern accent and the dead husband and the fake divorce." She set the phone down slowly and said, "You don't understand. It's just a job." "Just a job? You're scamming people. You're pretending to be different women and taking their money." She shrugged like I'd caught her jaywalking and said, "Everyone does it these days. It's basically telemarketing." I looked at her desk and saw 3 other phones and a notebook with different names and backstories written out. British Natalie, divorced and needs a lawyer. Southern Natalie, a widow with a sick kid. Miami Natalie, a fashion model stuck in Dubai. Canadian Natalie, inheriting her grandmother's fortune but needs help with taxes. "How long has this been going on?" I asked. She rolled her eyes and said, "Since before we met, obviously." "How did you think I afforded this lifestyle?" "What lifestyle? We live in a normal apartment and drive regular cars." "Honey, your salary barely covers groceries. I pay for everything else. The rent, the cars, your gaming computer, our vacations. Did you really think customer service paid that well?" I stood there trying to process that our entire marriage was funded by lonely men thinking they were dating British Natalie or Southern Natalie or whoever. The Hawaii trip last year, paid for by Richard who thinks I'm stuck in customs in Italy. Your PlayStation 5? That was James, who believes my mother needs heart surgery. Our anniversary dinner last month? Roberto thinks he's helping me escape from an arranged marriage. She listed these like accomplishments while I felt sick, and it wasn't from the food poisoning anymore. These men think they're in love with you. They think you love them back. So, they're stupid enough to believe it. That's on them, not me. I provide a service. They feel loved, and I get paid. It's basically therapy. You're stealing from lonely people by pretending to love them. That's not therapy, that's emotional theft. She laughed, actually laughed, and said, "You weren't complaining when we went to Cancun, or when I bought you that watch for Christmas." I took off the watch and set it on her desk. "I don't want anything bought with scam money. Now you're being ridiculous. It's victimless. These men are all rich anyway, or they wouldn't have money to send." I asked if she felt anything when they wrote love letters or talked about their futures together. She thought about it, then said, "I feel grateful they're funding our lifestyle." "What about us? Was I just another mark? Did you ever love me? Or was this whole marriage just another character?" That actually made her look hurt. "Of course I love you. You're real. They're just voices on phones and words on screens. But you're destroying real people's lives. Real people who think they found love." She stood up and tried to touch my face, but I stepped back. "You're being naive. The world runs on people taking advantage of other people. At least I'm not violent or selling drugs. I'm just telling stories." "You're right," I said. "You are telling stories. You told me a story too. The story of Natalie, the customer service rep who loved me. But that was just another character, wasn't it?" She started to argue, but I was already packing the bag. The last thing she said was, "You'll be back when you realize how expensive life is without me." That was 8 months ago. The divorce papers showed she had 17 different accounts under different names and was talking to 43 men across 12 countries. I got nothing in the divorce because, technically, all our assets were proceeds from criminal activity. Last I heard, she was still running the same scams from a new apartment. Still British Natalie and Southern Natalie and all the other Natalies. Just not my Natalie anymore. Turns out she was never real anyway.